Hi, everybody. So, welcome to a very special series. You guys have been asking for pas de deux tips for a very long time. So, I found somebody that I know pretty well who is going to take you through that with these beautiful dancers. And so, I hope you guys enjoy this series. So, y'all have fun.
Awesome. Thank you, Miss Kathryn. Hi, everybody. I'm Christopher Sellars. I'm the Training Division Coordinator with Ballet West Academy. Today, I have with me 4 students from Ballet West Academy. We're going to be working on pas de deux, classical pas de deux to be specific. Before we start, I'd like to just say that I'm going to be using the terms male and female, or gentlemen and ladies and men and women, for classical pas de deux. Because in classical pas de deux, the male and the female have their roles to play. This is something that you might see if you go see a classical production of Swan Lake, Sleeping Beauty, Giselle, or any other classical ballet. However, that does not necessarily mean these are gender-specific roles. All kinds of combinations of partnerships in the dance world, and if you go see something more contemporary especially, you'll see different numbers, different combinations all over the place. Now, before we start, let's have each of the dancers introduce themselves, state your guys' name and the level you are in Ballet West Academy.
Hi, my name is Cameron. I'm in the trainee division.
Hi, my name is Olivia, and I'm in the trainee division.
Fantastic. And these two lovely people?
Hi, I'm Mia, and I'm in the professional training division.
Hi, I'm Simon, and I'm also in the professional training division.
Thank you, dancers. And the reason I went up to them is because I have the only mic. One thing about classical pas de deux, because it is very advanced point work, is nobody should be trying this kind of work until they've had at least 2 years on point or are 12 years or older. Yeah, it is not for beginning dancers. Now, you can do pas de deux on flat if you are a younger dancer, and that is something that we can do, but it is very advanced. So people can roll their ankles if they get uncomfortable, if they're off their leg, it becomes very dangerous, and you have to be strong in your point work to do any kind of pas de deux work. The first thing we're going to do is simply weight, feeling the person's weight. Whoever's on point, we're feeling their weight often on their legs. And we're going to simply do this by going in a sous-sus balance. And we're going to, the gentlemen in this room are going to take them off their legs and back on, left, right, forward, and back. And I'm going to actually ask Olivia, may I demonstrate this with you? Fantastic. She's going to releve in sous-sus with her right foot in front and her arms in first position. Now, the most important thing that I tell the women in ballet and pas de deux class all the time is that they have to hold their placement. That is their job. Yeah, then the guys do what they need to do to keep her on her leg and looking controlled and lovely. Yeah. So she's going to stay straight as a board as I take her off her leg to the right side. And then we change to the left side. And I want everybody to notice my footing. Yes, I am stepping with her so I can support her weight any direction I take it. Yeah, and to the back. Very good, Olivia. Okay, come on down. Now, one of the things that is very important in pas de deux, yeah, is the hand placement. Yeah, it supports their weight, it supports the placement of the classical position and things like that. So let's look at it from the side with your left foot in front, and we're going to actually go to the left. So right now I have her just above the hip bones, right, on her waist, and I'm supporting her. They all have floating ribs. The lower ribs are floating ribs, and you don't want to grab or grip, right? You're taking them gently in your palms and supporting the stability with your fingers and thumbs. So off her leg to the left, and then bring her back. And then you go off her leg to the right, and bring her back. Now I'm going to use my right leg so you guys can see, but I'm going to lean her forward. Now, one of the things about going forward and back, for them to hold their placement, you'll notice her back leg, her back foot actually comes off the floor, not because she lifts it, but because I lean her forward. And it just comes off the floor slightly, and then you bring her back. And then when you go backwards, the front one does too. Yeah? So, and then every time you come back, you should feel a weightlessness because she's on her leg, right? So if you actually feel any weight when you're straight up and down, she's not on her leg, okay? Now come on down, thank you. And we're going to talk about the footing. If you notice my footing, yeah, I'm going to take a step to the right, and I'm actually keeping my left foot where her sous-sus is, so when I come back, I know exactly where I'm bringing her. Right back to her legs, I'm going to step there and back. I'm going to step forward with the right or the left leg, whatever's comfortable, but you're going to counter. So when you saw me, I countered her weight so I could bring her back. There, and you step back together, and then step back and step together, right? I always tell the gentlemen in my classical pas de deux classes that I don't necessarily care how you look in the beginning, right? When we're rehearsing and we get to a performance, yes, the whole picture has to look nice, but the most important thing is you take care of your partners that are on point, yeah? So the footing becomes more of a technique of how you do the placement and how you carry the weight, but I'm not really concerned about straight legs and pointed feet quite yet, gentlemen, okay? Great. The woman's job in classical pas de deux is to maintain that placement no matter what. So it doesn't, especially in the beginning, it's not going to feel comfortable to go on and off your leg. Here, you know what? Let's demonstrate it wrong for a second, okay? So when she goes off, if she tries to stay on her leg by herself, don't tilt. Yes, that's not going to really help, because what that does, and you go to the side, yes, and especially to the front and back, yeah, just keep your body back like, yeah, that's not going to help the person with the hands know what you need as a partner. Yeah, he needs to know when you're off your leg, because especially in the beginning, yeah, you guys know it's not always comfortable. Yes, beginning gentlemen don't always know how to keep you on your legs, so it gets very uncomfortable. Yes, and then gentlemen, you know that if you feel a lot of weight, something's wrong, but if they don't hold their placement, you won't know how to fix it. Yeah, so if everybody does their job and their role, then you all learn from each other, and it's really great. So the combination is going to be 2 counts off, 2 counts on, 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 and then Olivia, can you show with Cameron real quick? After you finish the back, she's just going to simply change her leg to the front, and you do the left side. Okay? We'll do a nice adagio. All the music we'll be using today is from David Plumpton. Yeah, all of his albums. Great, let's sing. Plie down and susu up. Take care. 2 counts off. Come back together. Very nice, dancers. Good. Lift up in your lower abs. Good. Nice. Very good. Notice they're only taking them off as much as the ladies can control. Change feet. Left. Good. To the right. Nice. Very nice, Miss Mia. And good. And back. Very good. And plie down. Finish. Good. Nice. One thing I'd like to do right off the bat, can you go to Susu, Olivia, with Cameron holding you? Now, gentlemen, your job is not over until she's comfortably on both legs. So if you go back on the YouTube video, see what I mean. Take care of her all the way to the plie before you let go. Yep, there you go. Oh, good. We'll try that again. Yes. Plie. Yes. Ooh, yes. Good, good. So those little things are very hard work, and these are very advanced dancers, but they are still very small adjustments, and that's what you'll see the difference of with beginning pas de deux and advanced pas de deux. Those little transitions get refined. One of the things that I did forget to mention, but a good thing for you to know, and you can always go back when you repeat and do this again. The gentleman did this very well, and actually I'll ask Simon and Mia to demonstrate this, and you can do this in the Susu, so come on center, yeah? Go for it, Susu. Yes, good. Now, let's go side to side. Look at his hands. Go for it. Go side to side. Good, he has her. Very nice. Back up. And then to the left. Now, before we go front, come back up. Watch his hands shift to the front of her hips. So now he has her very solidly. Good. And then when we go to the back, yes, can you turn to the side real quick? There we go. He's going to change his hands to the lower back and support her back as she goes back. Very good. Yeah, so that hand placement is very important for the person keeping the dancer on point in the correct placement, yeah? Because if you just do the side, when you go back to back, you start to get very fingery. It's not fun to have fingers dig into your stomach or thumbs to dig into your lower back. So that placement of the hands is very, very important. Very good. Now you guys at home can repeat that if you like, but we're going to move on to the next addition to this. And for this episode, it's going to be simply just this combination, but now we add the same thing in retiree. So now it's on one leg. When we lift up to retiree, you need to make sure that you don't sit in your hip, a classic technique. Yeah, just think about everything, but always be up. And what we're going to do now, because it's going to lead into pirouettes in the next episode, right? We're going to cross our wrists and we're going to hold. Now, you may see this port de bras in balancing ballets and that balancing technique at SAB, but you also will see this in almost every classical pas de deux, because when we get to pirouettes, which we'll talk more about, your elbows become lethal weapons, so we need to move them from their noses, okay? But also, you still feel air and space underneath in your wings and your lats. So from the side, your back doesn't change from first position to crossing the wrists. So you still feel that same placement. It shouldn't affect any placement, yeah? Very common is, as soon as those arms come in, is the shoulders go back or up. So we don't want to do that. And the air is important because as soon as you drop your elbows to your sides, now the room to work for the hands is gone. So you want to stay lifted. So we're going to do this whole combination in retiree with the wrist cross. We're going to do the same thing. With the right leg in retiree, off your leg, forward and back. Now it gets, it's going to feel a little bit more uncomfortable, but may I demonstrate with you? Good. So we're going to actually go start in susu, yeah? And the music will play and she's going to lift her leg into retiree. Good. Now this is where it gets really odd for the person in retiree. Yeah, but she's going to stay straight as a board. Off. Very good, Mia. And especially when we go to one leg, it's the person in the back's job to really make sure that you don't overdo it. It's not a trick. It's just a simple weight placement. Because, stay in retiree for a moment, Mia, because if you go too far, it gets really uncomfortable for the person with their leg up, okay? Then you're going to lift up and over to the back and lift the left leg. And yes, so actually I want to show that little detail too because transitions are so important in pas de deux. Can we turn to the side? Good, go retiree, right leg. When she lifts up and over her knee, go for it. Notice that she closes back, so you actually have to bring the weight to the new foot. Lift the next leg. So you're there. Now could you please do that one more time, Mia? Yeah, go to retiree, right leg. If you don't, go for it, close back, and go, retiree. Yes, it's not quite comfortable, so you have to be aware of where that placement is, correct? Good, come on down, very good, good. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do now, where it's just a little bit more difficult, the next step in this placement, because you have to get really used to where the dancer is in her retiree. If we're going to go to pirouettes and spins, it's a whole other level. Next episode, coming soon. Good. All right, here we go, dancers. And plie 6, susu up, retiree 8. Very nice. And bring her back up. Good. And keep lengthening the psoas so you don't sink in your lower back. Very good. Good. And gentle forward and back. Back up, lift up, susu, change legs, and to the left, very good. Straight as a board, head to the toes. Beautiful. And gentle, good, gentlemen. We have to talk about the hand placement, that was very good. They reminded me. Good, and lift to close and plie nicely. Very good. Good. So very good, dancers. That's going to be the end of this episode, just a little bit of balance and weight placement. The next thing we're going to add is pirouettes, partnered pirouettes, which gets quite advanced. So we will talk about it even more. Hence, multiple episodes.